Are hemp, flax, and olive oils good for us to eat? Should we try to include these oils in our diet, or should we try to avoid them?
Oh, this is a good question too. So hemp, olive, and flax oils. I think these oils are wonderful, but they're the best when they come from the whole foods. Because when they come from the whole foods, these oils come packaged with fiber and phytochemicals and plant sterols and stanols and all of these beneficial components. So to me, extracting oils from foods, pouring them onto our foods is not as healthful as using the whole foods. For example, I make hemp seed dressing all the time for my salad. I use hemp seeds. So I get not just the omega-3s and the wonderful fats that are there in the hemp seeds, I get the protein, I get the fiber, I get the trace minerals. You don't get that from the oils. And so that's, and it depends. There's some people that can afford those extra calories. But what we have to remember is that those extra calories are 120 calories a tablespoon. And they don't have any, they don't have the same kind of satiety value as when they come with the fiber. So if you're an athlete and you're burning 5,000 calories a day, you're getting a ton of nutrients, you might be able to afford a little bit of that. You're a diabetic who's overweight, who's trying to reverse insulin resistance. You don't have room for highly processed foods. Oils are fairly highly processed foods, just like white flour is. To me, oils are to the sort of fat world as sugars and refined carbohydrates are to the carbohydrate world. We want as much as possible to be getting our fat and our carbohydrate and our protein from whole foods. And so I'd say eat your flax seeds, eat your hemp seeds, eat your olives, with some caution with the olives because they can be very, very salty. But it's just you're getting so much more value for your calorie. When you think about nutrient density, the foods that have the lowest nutrient density of all are, pure sugar is at the bottom of the barrel, and close behind is pure oil, because there just is not a lot of nutritional value left. Now, I believe that the oil, if it's a fresh pressed, high quality oil, I think there's more redeeming value to that oil than there is to the sugar. Because the sugar, there's nothing there. With the oil, you actually help to enhance the absorption of fat-soluble phytochemicals and vitamins like vitamin D and vitamin E and so forth, and carotenoids and such. And there's a little bit of vitamin E there, and when it's fresh pressed, you may get some phytochemicals remaining in olive oil, for example, and in flaxseed oil. And so there are some components that provide some advantage. So if I were to have to choose a little bit of one or the other, I don't think either is poison. I think in small quantities as part of a whole food diet, in very tiny amounts as a flavor, they could have some, use, but I wouldn't use them as a food. I'd use them as a flavor in the tiniest amount possible. And for myself, I use very, very rarely. I have sugar in my house. I use it to feed hummingbirds. Otherwise, I use fruits for my sweeteners. I use either whole fruits or dried fruits. And I dry my own, pears in the summer, in the fall, really. It's usually about fall when they come around. And I use dates and because we get fiber and vitamins and minerals, and it makes more sense to use those as our sweeteners in our treats.